This is a production of Cornell University.
Hello again, everyone. My name is Bahia Zal. If you're a regular attendee of the webinar series, you may already know that I'm a second-year PhD student in the plant breeding and genetics program at Cornell University, studying hemp with Dr. Larry Smart. Just for your information, these webinars are recorded, and then we post them to our Cornell School of Integrative Plant Sciences YouTube channel, so that afterwards you can watch them again or share them with people that you think would be interested in the content. You can also find more hemp resources on our Cornell Hemp website. I'll include links to those in the chat. And with that, I'd like to welcome our speaker, Babu Valliyodan. Dr. Valliyodan is an assistant professor of molecular genetics and genomics at Lincoln University. He's also the chair of Lincoln University's Hemp Institute and the director of their Climate Smart Commodities program. In addition to his work at Lincoln, he's also an adjunct professor with the University of Missouri in the Division of Plant Sciences. The current research of his lab is focused on the application of genetic and genomic technologies to study genome variations and complex trait improvement in legumes and industrial hemp. Some of those traits are crop resilience and carbon sequestration, with the end goal of improving plant performance and sustainability in agriculture. His lab also is collaborating with an animal and poultry nutrition team to investigate the use of hemp meal in animal feed, and also with biofuel stakeholders to develop sustainable aviation fuels with hemp. To further the impact of his research, his lab also participates in national efforts with the USDA hemp program to establish hemp as a climate smart commodity. So with that, thank you, Babu, for joining us today. I'll let you share your screen now, and you can take it away.
Thank you, Bahia. Thank you very much for the introduction. Good afternoon to all over here, and morning and evening for the people from other part of the world. Okay, thanks again, Bahia, and thanks for all attending this webinar. Thanks for the long introduction, nice introduction about our program at Lincoln. Let me start with Lincoln University. Lincoln is one of the 1890 universities, land-grant universities land-grant university in Missouri. We have two land-grant systems at Missouri. First one is the University of Missouri. That's in 1862, and we are 1890 land-grant university system. It is an HBCU, historically Black college and universities, started by the colored infantry in 1865. And we claim that we are the first land-grant 1890 system in the country. Let's go to the topic. So we all know that the multiple uses of hemp. So at Lincoln University and in our Hemp Institute, we are focusing most part of the hemp utility, starting from hemp seeds, fiber, and animal feed, and also for the biofuel activities. So we are heavily on most of these areas, research and development at Lincoln University. So when we look at the hemp production as a whole, what are the major bottlenecks? As we all know that no germplasm base in the US, because we burned all the germplasm, destroyed all the germplasm after the ban in 1930s. And so no superior genetics or cultivars with the modern attributes. So there's a need for providing best seeds, and we have to establish management practices, including IPM. Those are the major bottlenecks. So with this in view, we formed this Lincoln University Hemp Institute in 3 years back, with a major goal is to establish nationally recognized industrial hemp program and extend that knowledge to growers and processors, and addressing all the major production challenges in Missouri, in the Midwest, and contributing to the national scenario. So major goals like develop stable genetics and varieties for Missouri growing region, develop best management practices, develop a national hemp testing facility at Lincoln, and establish a germplasm bank, and conduct education and outreach activities, and partner with public and private entities to get this a part of the Missouri ag industries. So what are our capability? We got the certified organic research farm, apart from our conventional farm at Missouri, and both greenhouse and field facilities, high-turn facilities for breeding, faculties in different areas of biology, animal sciences, and economic sciences. We have a germplasm bank, genotyping facility, national hemp testing facility, and outreach. That's our capabilities. So now I'll give a kind of a background about ongoing projects at Lincoln. Then I'll come to our the recent project on climate smart industrial hemp. So we started with a initial donation or initial support from the Lincoln Board of Curators to establish the Lincoln Institute, then followed by the USDA capacity building grant to establish industrial hemp in the state of Missouri. So we worked with other universities in the state, then partnering with commodity organizations and processing or private stakeholder like Midwest Natural Fiber in the project. Again, major goals is kind of the same goals as I mentioned in the Lincoln University Hemp Institute goals, like evaluation of hemp cultivars. We don't know which cultivar we grow different production regions of the Missouri to find out the right cultivar for the farmers at this production region, and develop genetics through breeding effort, management practices, and educate growers, and develop workforce. So the major anticipated impact of this project is to improve the production at the state of Missouri, and that will go to different parts of the Midwest. So we started field trials from 2021 onwards, and I'm giving some snapshots of 2023 field trials. We have about, this is our field note. It's about the Missouri State, you can see here, and excuse me, Missouri State over here. So we have 10 locations in the state, including farmers' locations. We screened about 21 varieties at 2 replications at all these states. We looked all kind of varieties. We did fiber dual grain varieties, and also we conducted field trials of CBD varieties too in some locations, not the 10 locations. Some locations we grew CBD varieties, but our major focus is on fiber, dual type, and grain varieties. So you can see from here that we planted on, this is one of the test plots. This is in Jeff City near the campus. We planted on May 8th. Then it looked like some of the test plot look like in an aerial view like this. You can see the plot length is about 10 by 200 foot in some plots. In some cases, we have 10 by 100 foot length plots with replicate trials. So we used some fiber cutter, 4-bar fiber cutter for fiber harvest, and baler for baling, making round bales of the fiber, and use some test plot combines to harvest the grain. So I'll give you some of the results. I mean, this is plant growth. I mean, plant height. I can put that way. Plant height. So when we put all the varieties together, you can see on the x-axis the date of the measurements. So this color code gives different varieties. You can see the variety Jinma is kind of the tallest one, and one of the grain varieties Vega is kind of the shortest one. So we identified those. And when we look at the different types, look at fiber type, we found Jinma is the tallest one. You can see the other one next to it. all the fiber varieties gave a very good height, about 60 inches. When you look at the dual type, you can see Futura. You can see fiber as one of the tallest one. In the case of grain type, we can see NWG 2730. NWG is our partner, is a Northwest, New West Genetics. They're situated at Colorado. So they are the major hemp seed breeding company in the country. So we are partnering with them. So we are testing some of the varieties in our field trial. The same way we looked at the stalk diameter. Then we found Jinma having, the fiber varieties have a good stalk diameter on top and bottom. And we need this information for our breeding pipeline. We would like to develop plants with a desired stalk diameter for the fiber industry. So this data is very, very valuable. We found Jinma is the best, and the Henola is kind of the least. So when you look at the grain yield, we found the Futura gave the highest grain yield among these varieties. You can see about close to about 2,500 pound of grain yield from one of the locations. So this data is from the Jefferson City location here, or near the campus locations. And the lowest one is the USO 31 varieties. So based on this, we screened out the varieties and we focused on the ones with a good grain yield. At the same time, we are participating with the USDA multi-state hemp grain yield project at a couple of locations in Missouri. And you can see from here the plant height. Out of the 13 grain and dual type varieties what we screened, we can see the plant height. We found Carmenecta, the one dual type, the best plant height. Henola is kind of a smallest one under the Missouri conditions. So we the plants we planted them on May 18th, and we harvested at the end of August and early October. We harvested this grain and fiber. When we look at the grain and fiber yield, we found the Futura got the best fiber yield. Like in our USDA other project trial, we got Futura as the best one, close to about, it's consistent. In this trial, we got about 2,200. The other one, we got 2,500 pound, and fiber yield about close to 6 ton in the case of one of the varieties. And another variety, Ferrimon, got the lowest grain yield, and the X59 variety got the least fiber yield out of this trial. That's the field trial. Along with the field trial, we are conducting, we initiated some breeding program at Lincoln, and one of the grad students, here it is, Joshua, is leading the breeding program at Lincoln. And our aim is to develop varieties, and we are using USDA germplasm and European land races and wild cultivars we collected from all over the states, neighboring states and Missouri states. So we collected, and we have that in our germplasm. We got about 70 accessions collected from the state. So we are using that as a genetic resource. Genomic resource, we are in the process of developing genome resources. We are in the process of assembling 2 reference genomes, one landrace and one of the wild type, and resequencing of the USDA germplasm is initiated. So our objective is to develop breeding lines with a seedling vigor and some plant performance traits. The low-hanging fruits such as less seed shattering and maturity traits we are focusing on. Then we look at the value-added traits or quality traits like fiber and seed composition. And we use marker-assisted selection to develop this superior varieties. Genomics assisted selection to develop the superior varieties. At the same time, we are using gene editing technologies to improve for the genetic improvement of this selected traits. So I know that there are a lot of challenges on that. So we have to develop the best protocol for plant transformation and establish protocol for specific hemp varieties for the transformation and genome editing technology, and using protoplast isolation and transient transformation system to test some of the candidates in the breeding pipeline, in the molecular breeding pipeline. So this gives an overview. The co-PI of the project is Dr. Professor Bing Yang from the University of Missouri. So we developed a kind of a cool transformation protocol for industrial hemp, and also we started a couple of regeneration protocol and using gene editing technologies to address some of the targets, such as shattering and the sex, male and female sex, and THC content related genes. So those are our targets for this gene editing. Hopefully, in a couple of years, we can have some out of it. At the same time, we are establishing a national testing facility for industrial hemp. Our main aim is to help the small farmers and minority farmers with the free of cost, and the other farmers with the nominal cost. So we developed a high sensitivity, high throughput method for analysis, and we developed protocol for doing this routine analysis of 11 cannabinoids. And one of our grad students, Sakina, is leading that effort in the lab. So this kind of a snapshot of, it's a kind of a busy slide. This is kind of a snapshot of different cannabinoids concentration and percentage in different varieties what we screened. And we can see, interestingly, we can see a lot of CBDs in our newest genetics breeding line, or a newest genetic variety that developed in the United States. But what we found out that all of the 20 or 30 varieties what we screened, all varieties showed below 0.3% THC content. That's our federal mandate. So this is kind of a busy slide, and this shows both delta 9 THC and the total THC percentage in different varieties. And some varieties are very close to 0.2. You can see all of them are below 0.2% THC content. So now we can go to our next project. That's a recently funded Climate Smart Commodities project on scaling up the industrial hemp supply chain as carbon negative feedstock for fuel and fiber. That's a project title. And several partners are involved, university partners, several organizations, including minority organizations and public stakeholders, and also private stakeholders, like including New West Genetics, Midwest Natural Fiber, and some fuel companies are involved in this project. What are the major goals? Design for maximum carbon fixing and carbon sequestration. We have to look for specific varieties, or develop specific varieties or lines having more carbon photosynthetic rate and more carbon fixing capacity, and putting more carbon to the soil. And measure, monitor, and verify the carbon and greenhouse gas benefits associated with our production practice, and develop carbon neutral building materials and fuel. Here it is a sustainable aviation fuel, and partnership with the farmers, public and private stakeholders. These are the major goals of this project. And as you know, that industrial hemp it is shown that industrial hemp got the potential for higher carbon sequestration capacity, and we can use it as a cover crop or a conservation crop, or a crop rotation. So if we use that practice as a cover crop or crop rotation, we can have a maximum carbon fixation and maximum carbon sequestration in agriculture, sustainable ag. Also, we can use this material for low carbon fuel production, and to develop building materials which is not part of the food supply chain. So that's a good thing. I mean, we are not considering industrial hemp as a major food crop. So we can use this as kind of a fiber, fuel, and feed crop, and use this as an alternative crop for developing sustainable aviation fuel or other materials. So we have to tell in our project very, very specifically that hemp is not to replace the existing soybean and maize production, which have its own role in global food and feed supply. Rather, so we utilize the hemp farming, utilize the existing agricultural land that can be included in farmers' crop rotation and other practices. For example, if we look at the winter wheat production in the country, so about 20 million acres of red winter wheat is grown, and major states are Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. So most of these 20 million acres are not utilized completely. So we can use that land for growing industrial hemp. That fallow wheat ground can use it to grow industrial hemp. Then we can have maximum carbon sequestration or carbon intensity score. So that's the premise of our project too. So what we are doing is that we are talking to the farmers from this winter wheat fallow ground scenario, then utilize that land for industrial hemp production. The second object is the measurement and quantification monitoring. For that, as I mentioned, we have to screen the genotypes to see which one gives the maximum carbon sequestration capacity, like good root biomass and good rooting depth and good photosynthetic capacity. So we have to screen them. Then we have to quantify all the benefits of the carbon smart hemp production strategies in tune with the carbon sequestration capacity of the plant. Then look at the greenhouse gas exchange associated with this hemp production strategies. So we have a partner, a Commodity plus Carbon, looking at all the carbon market or the potential carbon market after this calculation, calculation of the greenhouse gas benefits. I don't know what happened here. Okay, so for the genotypes, we are looking at different root systems from different varieties. We are collaborating with Chris Top at Danforth Plant Science Center, and he's leading that aspect of looking at the root system. So this picture shows that how we approach this task. So we do shoot and root measurements at the different growth stages, and we have robust phenotyping methods for the roots. Then we utilize that that data to look at the root and shoot diversity and among hemp lines. So we look at root biomass, root shoot biomass, and we take different image-based analysis, including root and shoot. And Danforth Center have the capacity doing high throughput imaging of root and shoots. So this gives a kind of an idea about what kind of, for the seedling roots, what we use, like root scanner and different machines to look at the root structures. So like this, we screen for different varieties and we select the specific breeding line or variety for our carbon sequestration experiments. So also we use some mini rhizotron to look at the root underground, root structure, root system architecture underground. And we utilize this data also making wise decisions of what genotype or what variety can be deployed in the farmer's field or the real world situation. So along with that, we use all these tools to look at the greenhouse gas monitoring and measurements. So we use flux towers for eddy coherence, and soil gas flux analyzers, and plant soil measurements, all this hyperspectral and radar and all other tools used to capture carbon and nitrogen and other related gas fluxes and measurements. So we use both ground truth and also aerial surveillance. We use drone-based imaging and sensors to look for desired measurements like carbon intensity or any other gas-related measurements. We use this methods. So we are collaborating with one of the partner of the project is Taylor Geospatial Institute at St. Louis University, Missouri. And this is a busy slide. You can see this is the workflow that's provided by Dr. Wasit. So that image itself shows that what are the different components. We have a imaging component that you can see the first tier, then your feature selection, and your analysis component. So based on this workflow, we come up with a different image analysis. This gives some examples of the hyperspectral imagery data collected from our Missouri Jefferson City or Carver field. So we use this hyperspectral data along with the LiDAR point clouds to find out the carbon intensity. For example, carbon intensity. What I learned from Geospatial Institute, that what are the dark red is showing the carbon intensity. So this NDVI can use to photograph or measure the carbon storage across the field, and along with the LiDAR and other 3D tools, you can get more refined carbon storage mapping at the plot level or even the genotype level. So we are in the initial stage of the project. Hopefully by this year, we can have most meaningful or useful data from farmers' field. This data we got from the test fields. So this year we are going to employ this in farmers' field. So at the same time, to add into that, we are looking at the microbiome, how the microbiome, that's another part of the project, how the microbiome or rhizobiome help the carbon sequestration or the organic matter of the carbon, the soil. So we are screening different hemp varieties for the specific microbiome and identifying some microbes and using how this hemp and microbiome interactions, what are the dynamics of it, then what are the potentials of the carbon sequestration with the help of rhizobiome. And one of the grad students, Prabesh, is leading that program in the lab. So this kind of a snapshot of some preliminary research. You can see some hemp root, how strong it is. We use a MALDI biotyper system to high throughput scan the microbes. So we got some good hits, like some of them having a direct role in soil health and plant growth. Some of them have some help in organic matter or mineral solubilizing capacity. Some have some role in phytohormone and plant growth promoting capacity. So that's a very good sign. So we'll be screening all the varieties for this leads. Then we'll come up with some solution for additional solution for carbon sequestration capacity of industrial hemp. So the first two objectives are on the biology side and also the measurement and monitoring side and modeling side. That's what I mentioned. So we are using existing models, and also we are developing some models to look at the greenhouse gas emission and the carbon sequestration parameters. At the same time, another objective is to develop the markets or expand the market for this commodities. So the goal is to utilize partnership to market commodities, and we use smart technology because we want to monitor the carbon through the track the carbon through the product. So from the seed to the in the soil and plant biomass and atmospheric carbon, then we have to look at where this carbon product is going and how much carbon in it. So we have to track the carbon. Then we have to ensure the economic benefit to producers. Then we have to develop pipelines for this marketing and marketing of industrial hemp, both fiber and fuel products. So in that, one of the major partner here is Midwest Natural Fiber. So they are the first hemp processing facility or functioning hemp processing facility in Missouri. So they have different satellite centers coming up. So the aim is that farmers can send their fibers to this facility, or this facility can buy the Missouri fibers, then process them, and they market it to different other entities. So Midwest Natural Fiber is doing a great job on helping industrial hemp farmers in Midwest. So this shows kind of a snapshot of their facility. You can see some decodificators and some the machine lines, how they do all the decodification and hemp processing. I mentioned about the commodity plus carbon. The commodity plus carbon, they look at the carbon incentives. They use our models and fit our models or our greenhouse gas emission details and all the data what we collect from the ground truth data and our marketing data, and also the aerial data. All data, they use all data to look at the carbon incentives for industrial hemp. So these are their major objectives. The CPC, the commodity plus carbon. They do contracts for different crops. They do the contracts to maximize carbon reduction and sequestration benefits. Then they look at the risk mitigation, and they advise the farmers about the revenue potential out of using this carbon scores or carbon intensity scores. So what our farmers need is that not only the better soil, they need some incentives out of this carbon market. So CPC, commodity plus carbon, equip the project to help the farmers to get the right carbon, get the farmers into the right carbon market. So they have all these components in their activities, like ecosystem, market management, climate smart mitigation, and they consider all the practices, then incentivize that sustainability practices for the farmers. So this first I talked to you about the biology and the measurement. Second, about the marketing. Third, about the carbon market, potential carbon market. But for all this thing, we need farmers. So in this project, initial part of the first 3 years of the project, we want to recruit almost 3,000 acres from the state of Missouri. And then from 3 to 5 years, we want to recruit more acreages up to, if possible, up to 80,000 from all other 4 states, what I mentioned earlier, Texas, Kansas, Oklahoma, and the neighboring states. So we provide $100 per acre for the farmer as farmer incentive. At the same time, we provide them $190 worth seeds per acre. So the farmers can get close to about $280, $290 worth incentive. Then the farmers can grow this plant, and we will help, as a Lincoln Hemp Institute, will help them or provide them the standard operating growing procedures for this hemp in their field, so they can plant them, harvest them, and our commodity partners like Midwest Natural Fibers or other seed companies, they will purchase the seeds or grain or the fiber from the farmer. So we did kind of a market scenario calculations we did through the project. We calculated like about $1,200 per acre. The farmers can get a total incentive. I mean, total incentive is about $1,200, and if you grow about dual crop, it's about close to about $1,100 you can get from the per acre basis. So if you look at the net or gross and both economics, a farmer can make minimum $500 to $600 per acre easily. That is on par with the other cash crop production in the state of Missouri. So this is the way we calculated how we calculated giving kind of a close to about 25 cents per pound for the grain and about 15 cents per pound for the fiber. And also same way, we are training next generation scientists through this project, so they can be added to our workforce. So not only at Lincoln, all the partnering institutions and partnering industries, they're all training the students or the farmers or the processors in the hemp scenario. So if anybody is interested, they can contact us, so we can help them to get into one of the internship stream, either with the processing or with the farming or with other related activities or measuring, monitoring, or modeling activities. So like any other crop program, we conduct field days. So we invite the state and state legislators and the farmers and the interested parties and high school to the campus. So they can see our industrial hemp field. They'll get a good idea about what we are doing with industrial hemp and how it is different or same as other cash crops in the state. So this was a very good method to attract more farmers or new farmers, including minority farmers in the hemp scenario. So we have the Hemp Institute have a website, but still we since the university, Lincoln University, is kind of modifying all the website and rebuilding the websites. So some section of the website is not publicly available. They're still working on it. We have a Facebook page, and also we have we started some YouTube interactions with the potential hemp farmers and the processors, and we'll be continuing that in the coming semesters. This is a huge project. Several people involved in it, and the red colored, they are all from the Lincoln University. With the different expertise part of this project, and all other universities at the state of Missouri, and US Genetics, Danforth Center, and all these experts in the respective areas of climate smart commodity development from a crop are a huge part in this project, and the major funding support from Lincoln, USDA, and also NRCS. And that's it. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, you should be able to open the Q&A function now and see people's questions.
Okay, the first question, any problem with the drought? How did hemp hold up? You know what, that's wonderful. I mean, like in 2022, we had Missouri got a serious drought condition, and most of the varieties did very good in our test plots. We didn't irrigate it at all. Some of the test plots then did very good. But rather this year, we lost a couple of the test plots because of water logging, and we got heavy rain during like 1 inch plus rain in some of our southeast region. And this water logging completely killed our plots. And even though we replanted it again, the more moisture killed our plots, so we couldn't continue. So I think it is kind of since my experiences in legume drought and high temperature tolerance, this plant show a good potential for growing under less water conditions. When harvesting seed, did you harvest all at one or according to plant maturity? This make a big difference in yield accuracy. That's another question. Yeah, that's another bottleneck, the grain harvest. So as I mentioned before, we are working on it. We are trying to fix a couple of genes on maturity and also maturity and also flowering time. So hopefully that can take us to have a crop like corn or bean we can harvest same time. What we are doing is that we are not harvesting we are trying to harvest at the time based on the moisture content. So what we did is that we harvested when the moisture is kind of it is about 20 to 25% moisture. So 20% moisture, we cut it, but still we lost our shattering percentage is higher in some varieties. Yes, that's true. I mean, I'm not claiming that the yield data what we got is kind of a very accurate. The yield data what we got is giving about, I think it's a 15% margin for shattering, but in some cases the shattering is about 40%. Next question: are you partnered with any tribes for the climate smart commodities program? At present, we are not, but we are looking for partnering with tribal governments on the industrial hemp climate smart commodity program. And we are discussing with a couple of tribal governments in the state of Kansas to be part of this project. Next question: isn't the cost of hemp too high to use as a cover crop? I would say it does. Yes, that's true. At present, you need at least $3 to $4 per pound, and that's a little bit higher. So that's why the efforts by Larry at Cornell and Bob at Kentucky and all of the others in different parts of the country working on breeding for early seedling vigor and good seedling or plant attributes. So at present, we are depending mostly on the seeds from Europe or China. Very less number of seed breeding companies in the state, and one of them is New West Genetics. I mean, they have a lot of good potential varieties coming up, and some others are also coming up. But the problem here is that even though we are getting the varieties from different countries, you can see in some of the plots that they are not genetically stable. They need more work. So yes, hopefully in a couple of years, 3 to 5 years, we can have hemp seeds. That is, the price of the hemp seeds on par with the other cash crops in the country. Are there opportunity for participatory research trials with the local or regional farmers? Yes. So we are, for the last 3 years, we are working with several farmers at a different location. And this year, we can accommodate farmers from the bordering states of Missouri, like part of the Kansas border, Arkansas border, Oklahoma border, or Illinois border. We can accommodate the farmers from those states. Yes, next question is, if so, what material and support are provided, and what are participating farmers required to return? Yeah, we will provide you based on the acreage, we will provide the farmers $100 as an incentive, and the seed worth of $190. Then our industrial partners will buy those product, fiber or grain from the farmers. So for the test plots, we don't have to go for any contracts. But if you want to a commercial plots, yes, we have to sign a contract with the participating private stakeholders. But for the test plots, I'll be very happy to provide seeds, and also we can help on some of the planting or farming and the harvesting logistics. Next question: are there any companion planting trials with the cannabinoid hemp? I didn't understand much. Cannabinoid hemp, I think you're talking about the flower hemp. No, we just look at the plant performance of these 10 varieties, 4 CBD varieties, 4 CBG varieties, and 2 autoflower varieties, one each from CBD and CBG. So we just grow in our test plots and see how the plant performance and what are the cannabinoid content. That's what we looked into it. Just to give some direction to the farmers who want to grow some indoor plants. Next question: are there any hemp seminars or hemp conferences in Missouri or in adjacent states that the public can attend in 2024? Yes, and Bahia and Cornell is doing a great job on conducting webinars, and NC State doing a great job on the extension is doing a great job on hemp seminars and workshops. For Missouri, we conducted one workshop a couple of weeks back, 2 workshops a couple of weeks back. One is at Sikeston, Missouri, another one at Jefferson City, Missouri, in our campus. The Sikeston, Missouri was kind of a hybrid program, both online and in-person meeting. And we are planning to conduct other workshops in the end of March, April, and May. So those are the three workshops what we planned. You can get the details from our website soon, maybe by the 3rd week of March. What's your breeding focus? Fiber, grain, CBD, dwell? Yeah, our breeding focus mainly fiber and grain and dwell. But before getting into that quality traits or other traits, we have to fix a lot of agronomic traits. So we have to fix the traits such as plant diameter or plant maturity. Like in soybean, there are 2 types of maturity, TT1, DT2. The same way, the hemp also have specific maturity genes identified. We are working on it. Then flowering time and shattering. So those are some of the major traits we have to fix it, along with looking at the other quality traits or fiber quality or fiber strength and fiber characteristics and grain characteristics for feed and the fuel. Yes, we have some targets on these aspects too, but now we are mainly focusing on the agronomic characteristics, plus working with a gene editing team on reducing THC content or no THC or very less THC, and also looking at the maintaining the sex ratio in the different types of hemp. I think, Bahia, these are major questions I got in the QA.
Awesome. Well, then I would want to thank you again for joining us, Babu. It was a great talk, very interesting, and we got some really good questions in there. I want to remind people that, oh, sorry, my video was off. I wanted to remind people that our next speaker will be in 2 weeks. It'll be Wayne Swink from the USDA ARS. He's going to be talking about hemp fiber quality analysis. He's with Chris Delhume's lab, and they've worked a lot for many years on cotton fiber quality analysis. So it's very exciting to see them getting into hemp. Thank you again for joining us, everyone. And I hope to see you all again in 2 weeks. And sign off now. Bye, everyone.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.